welcome back, knitters. This is Jana with Purl Together. In this week's video, we are finally finishing up the brioche scarf back and forth that we started working on several weeks ago, but I got derailed with the Christmas ornaments and all the things. And so we're finally finishing that up today. If you recall, I chose to continue the pattern throughout the scarf, and I like the way that it turned out. I found it to be kind of tedious, but I do like how it turned out. You can see the inside here as well. So I like the contrast. And so in this video, this last video of this series, I'm going to show you how to bind off using the I-cord bind off method. Just a quick shout out and happy holidays to all my patrons. I really appreciate your support. I wouldn't be able to bring these videos to you each and every week, week in and week out, without your assistance. So thanks so much for your continued pledges throughout the whole year. If you're interested in becoming a patron, go check out patreon.com/Purl Together to see what I'm offering in trade for your small pledge each and every month. Okay, I've knitted the scarf as long as I'd like for it to be, and I have completed section 4, which is the last X. And as I mentioned earlier, I chose to do the pattern all the way down the scarf. And so I want the last bit to match how I began. And so as the instructions indicate on page 4, we're going to do a setup row to basically get rid of the brioche stitches and remove the second color before we bind off with an I-cord so that it matches the way we began. You know, when we started in the beginning, we just used one color, created our I-cord edging, and then started with this color B. So we're going to make this other end match that. All right. So you're just going to follow that bit where it says set up on page 4 on section 4. And we're just going to hang on to this for a moment. And using color A, just follow exactly what it says in that line, where you're going to knit 3, just as you normally have been starting out. And then brioche knit, purl 1, brioche knit to the last 3 stitches. So that's pretty simple. Okay, brioche knit, and then purl 1, and do that all the way across, removing the markers as you go. All right, after I've done the purl 1 brioche knit, repeat all the way across, and I'm just going to slip the last 3 stitches with yarn in front. Whoops, fix that. Okay, with yarn in front. And then the pattern suggests that we switch to larger needles so that our I-cord bind off is not too snug. Okay, I've changed back to my size 5 needles because that's what I used for my cast on. And then I'm just going to bind off all the stitches in the wrong side row using the I-cord bind off just as if we started. So we're going to knit the first 3 and then slip those back to the left needle. Okay, then knit 2. Knit 2 together through the back loop. All right, knit 2 together through the back loop, and then repeat. Put these 2 back on the left side and do the same thing. You just don't want to knit everything too tightly. Just make sure your tension is pretty loose. You don't want it like sloppy loose, but you know, you don't want it too tight either. So you're just going to do this all the way across the top to create that nice edge. Knit 2 together through the back loop. And what that does is that turns that last section, it opens it up toward you. So you can see that makes a nice edge there. All right, I've completed the I-cord bind off all the way until I have 3 stitches left here unworked on the left side, or 6 total. So now the instructions tell me to do the Kitchener to graft these together and finish up. So that's really easy enough. But if you'll notice, my right hand needle is going the wrong direction for Kitchenering. So I'm just going to slip it back onto the left. And then I'm going to go around and sneak that in underneath. So now I have both needles facing the same direction. And I can just kind of slide this over in front and Kitchener these 6 remaining stitches, graft them together. So this is a little bit fiddly just because things want to shift. Since I don't really care for the traditional setup row for the Kitchener, then I'm going to just begin the regular Kitchener pattern where I go into the front as if to knit and go ahead and slip that one off. And then I'm going to go into the second stitch as if to purl, but I'm going to leave this one on the needle. So knit off, purl on. And then the second one, I'm going to purl off, knit on. So purl this one off, being careful not to get anything tangled up. Okay, purl that one off, knit the next one, knit into the next one and leave it on. Okay, same thing, go into the next stitch as if to knit. Take that one off. The last one as if to purl and leave that one on. Okay, go in as if to purl and take this one off. Whoops, I seem to have gotten my double thickness here. Let me take that back off and see what I've done. I have clearly just had my tail too long. There we go. Okay, let me adjust that. Go into this as if to purl and leave it on. Or sorry, take that one off. And the last one we're going to leave on after we go in as if to knit. All right, so now we only have 2 left. So we're going to go just do your sequence as you normally would, in as if to knit, remove that, in as if to purl, remove that. All right, now we should be done. I have a little tag in here that I need to weave in, and then we'll be finished. I need to weave in where I broke off the other contrasting color, and then yay, it's very squishy. All right, thanks for joining me during these brioche series. We've learned a lot in the past several weeks about learning, back and forthing with brioche, and this pattern particularly. If you decided like I did to carry it throughout the length of the scarf, then you got pretty good at brioche increases and decreases, and that will definitely serve you well for future projects. Thanks for watching.